Cats have a box problem. Or more precisely, humans have a problem understanding it. You spend good money on a cat bed. You pick the right size, the right material, the right level of cushioning. You place it in a sunny corner of the room. The cat ignores it completely. Then you order something online. The box arrives. You open it, pull out the contents, and set the cardboard aside for a second. The cat is inside it before you've turned around. It happens every time, with every box, regardless of size or shape. A shoebox? A shipping crate, a tiny square that the cat physically cannot fit inside. They'll try anyway. And the question that follows is completely reasonable. Why? Why does an animal that can sleep anywhere, that has no natural predators in your apartment, that seems entirely indifferent to your feelings, care this deeply about an empty cardboard box? It turns out, the answer is more interesting than most people expect. To understand the box obsession, you first need to understand something about how cats process the world around them. Unlike dogs, which evolved in social groups where open communication and constant awareness of others was essential, domestic cats descended from largely solitary hunters. Their ancestors didn't live in packs. They didn't rely on the group for safety. They survived by being the thing that other animals didn't notice until it was too late. Stealth, ambiguity, and controlled environments weren't just preferences. They were survival strategies, and those instincts are still very much present in the animals currently sitting in your Amazon boxes. A box solves several problems at once for a cat. The most obvious is visibility, or rather, the reduction of it. Inside a box, a cat can see out without being seen. From an evolutionary standpoint, this is extremely valuable. You can monitor your environment, track movement, and assess threats without exposing yourself. Researchers who study predatory behavior describe this as the ambush advantage. Cats are not pursuit hunters. They don't chase prey over long distances. They wait, they watch, and they strike from a position of concealment. A box in this context isn't a quirky hiding spot. It's a hunting blind. But the ambush explanation only covers part of it. Cats retreat to boxes even when there's nothing to hunt, even when they've just eaten, even when the only movement in the room is you watching television. So something else is also happening. That something else is stress reduction. In 2014, researchers at Utrecht University conducted a study on shelter cats, a population that experiences high levels of environmental stress due to unfamiliar surroundings, other animals, and unpredictable human contact. They gave half the cats access to boxes as hiding places and tracked their stress levels over time. The results were striking. Cats with boxes adapted to their new environment significantly faster than those without. Their stress scores dropped more quickly. They were more willing to interact with humans and showed fewer signs of anxiety. The box wasn't just comfort. It was a coping mechanism. The reason appears to come down to something researchers call the conflict resolution strategy of cats. Unlike dogs, which have evolved a range of social signals for resolving tension with other animals and with humans, cats don't really have that toolkit. When a dog feels anxious or overwhelmed, it can signal submission, seek reassurance, or navigate the social dynamic in various ways. Cats handle conflict differently. They leave, or more precisely, they find a space where the conflict can't reach them. A box provides exactly that. 4 walls and a defined boundary. The stress is, quite literally, outside. This is also why cats seek out boxes even in homes where nothing stressful is happening. The preference isn't just reactive. It appears to be built in. Many cat behaviorists describe it as a need for what they call a refuge space, a place that is small, enclosed, and entirely theirs. The box doesn't need to serve a function. Its existence is the function. Then there's the temperature factor, which is less poetic, but equally important. Cats have a thermoneutral zone, the range of temperatures in which they're comfortable without needing to generate or shed excess heat. For cats, this range sits between roughly 30 and 38 degrees Celsius, which is significantly warmer than most humans keep their homes. Cardboard happens to be an excellent insulator. It traps body heat efficiently and creates a microenvironment inside the box that's noticeably warmer than the surrounding room. When a cat sits in a box, it's not just finding shelter, it's finding a warmer shelter. The physics work in their favor. Some researchers have also pointed to the role of sensory boundaries. Cats appear to be strongly drawn to defined edges and enclosed perimeters, even when the enclosure doesn't offer real protection. This has been demonstrated in a somewhat famous experiment using the Canisa square illusion, where a square shape is implied by four corner brackets without any actual lines connecting them. Cats were just as likely to sit inside the implied square as inside a real one drawn on the floor. The edge didn't need to be physical. The perception of an enclosed space was enough. This suggests the preference for boxes runs deeper than just practical shelter seeking. There may be something about defined boundaries themselves that cats find inherently calming or appealing. There's also the element of play. Cats are opportunistic in how they engage with their environment. A box is unpredictable. It has corners to investigate, flaps to bite, sides to scratch, and an interior to rearrange. For an animal whose natural state involves constant low-level environmental monitoring and frequent short bursts of activity, a new box in the room is a genuinely interesting object. It's novel, and novelty, for a cat, is worth investigating thoroughly before settling into it permanently. What all of this adds up to is something more layered than a simple quirk. The box preference appears to reflect several overlapping needs: the instinct for concealment and ambush, the drive to reduce and escape stress, the search for warmth, the attraction to defined spatial boundaries, and the engagement with novel objects in the environment. No single factor explains it completely. All of them together explain why no cat, in the history of cats, has ever looked at a box and decided it wasn't worth investigating. There's a broader point here, too. The box obsession is often treated as evidence that cats are strange or inscrutable, but it's actually one of the most transparent windows into how they experience the world. Cats aren't doing something irrational when they choose a cardboard box over your expensive pet furniture. They're doing something deeply rational. According to their own internal logic, they want warmth, safety, concealment, and control over their immediate environment. The box delivers all four. The bed you bought them probably doesn't. So, do cats love boxes? That might be too simple a framing, but they clearly need them in a way that goes beyond preference. A box, for a cat, is architecture. It's a fortress, a hunting ground, a retreat, and a thermostat all at once. It just happens to be made of cardboard, and it just happens to arrive every time you order something online, which, if you think about it, is probably not a coincidence your cat is complaining about.